state your case. Why do you think J.D. Davis should or should not be entrenched as the Mets' everyday third baseman heading into this season?
Well, I think you already know my take, Steve, based on that tweet. I think, of course, J.D. Davis should be the everyday third baseman. And the impetus for this tweet was lots of chatter on social media, people talking about should the Mets sign Justin Turner, 36-year-old Justin Turner, to a multi-year deal and then trade J.D. Davis for pitching, as opposed to a much easier solution, which would be just sign a pitcher to fill out your rotation. It makes no sense to me, and I don't know how we got to this point. J.D. Davis has been a good player for this team. A lot of people have pointed to him as Brodie Van Wagenen's best acquisition. And yes, there are warts. Yes, he's not perfect. He had a down year last year. But what do you put more stock in? In 2019, when he hit 22 homers and an 895 OPS over 140 games? Or what he did last year, a 761 OPS over 56 games? I also understand there are defensive limitations. Yes, he didn't look great at third base, but he sure looked better there than he did in left field. It's his natural position. He's got a cannon for an arm. We talked about him actually positively when he first moved there. So can he get better now that he's committed to third base?
I heard a recent interview with him. He was looking forward to just being considered a third baseman. I think your work and preparation on the defensive side changes an awful lot. I think he'll get better. Will he be above average third base? I don't think so, but I think he'll be solid average. If you go back to that 2019 season, his metrics, his analytical numbers, StatCast numbers at third base, even though it was over like 35 games or so, it was about league average, a little bit above, according to those. I would say he was average as a third baseman. You mentioned the arm. I think you can position him in the proper way. And really, on the offensive side, he provides the balance that they need in that lineup from the right-handed bat. I think he's going to have another really good year.
Well, I think the Mets need to get better defensively. That's the biggest thing to me. And you look around, where can they improve defensively? Brandon Nimmo's now locked in as the center fielder without a DH, and he's not really a center fielder. Dominic Smith is your left fielder. He's not really a left fielder. You have a defensive limitation at first base with Pete Alonso, and now you also have one at third with J.D. Davis. He was last in the major leagues in defensive runs saved in 2020. If you go back to the start of 2019, he's the second worst in baseball at third base, only ahead of Colin Moran, who's played twice as many innings as J.D. Davis. So there are some limitations defensively. I don't know if he's passable at third base just yet. And, offensively, yeah, 2019 was a good year, but Pete Alonso had a great year in 2019 and then also struggled in the short season. Is that necessarily saying that he's regressed offensively? No, but I think it is a red flag. And if the Mets are going to improve their team from a defensive standpoint, which I think needs to be key for them, third base kind of stands out.